Hey, real quick, we hope you're loving today's episode and we wanted to take a moment to keep you in the loop. If you work in healthcare or you're a healthcare traveler, or you know someone who works in healthcare and is interested in fun adventure travel, you've got to know about our TravSess adventure trips. And listen, we get it. Working in healthcare can feel really demanding, overwhelming, and stressful. We spend so much time taking care of others that we forget to take care of ourselves.
So let us take care of you on a TravSess trip. Once you sign up for a trip, we literally take care of everything. The planning, the logistics, and all the little details. So all you have to do is show up, have fun, and make unforgettable memories with a group of like-minded, adventurous travel friends. This is your time to step away from the chaos, recharge, have some fun, and come back feeling like the best version of you. Everyone who comes on a TravSess trip says you come as strangers, leave as family. Literally. TravSess trips have sparked dozens of new friendships, adventure squads, and travel soulmates that last way beyond the trip.
And honestly, it's not about the places we go. It's about the amazing people you meet along the way. We personally plan every itinerary based on our own travel adventures, so we have been there, done that, and know all the best things to do and see that you would not find on your own. Plus, we've got some awesome local friends on the ground to help us make each trip extra fun, special, and totally unique. Our trips are for active adventurers who like to get out of their comfort zones and push their limits. And the best part? We keep our groups small and intimate so you can form real connections like really, really fast.
So if you're ready to ditch the planning stress, find your adventure crew, and travel like never before, head over to imtravsess.com and grab your spot on one of our next adventures.
That's imtravsessed.com.
Or you can send us a DM over on Instagram at Kim and Erran G.
That is KIMANDERRANG.
Just DM us the word adventure and we can chat more about it. You can also find our Instagram, our website. Everything is linked in the show notes below. Also, at the time of this recording, we have 3 spots left to join us in Oaxaca, Mexico in 2025, which honestly is one of our favorite trips. Yeah. So you can head over to our website, check that out. And we also have so many more fun adventures coming your way in 2026.
We cannot wait to see you on one of our life-changing trips. Now let's dive back into the episode. Welcome to the Obsessed With podcast. We're your hosts, Kim and Erran. We've been together since 2007, and we are the co-founders of TravSess.
And we've also been full-time travelers since 2012.
That's right, crazy.
Which is insane. Join us here as we pull back the curtain with fun, juicy, and honest conversations. We're going to dive into all the things that you might be navigating too, like figuring out how to add more travel and adventure into your life, which PS, this is our specialty, navigating big transitions, relationships, and marriage, deciding whether or not kids fit into the picture in your 40s, and most importantly, how to create a life of freedom on your own terms.
Consider this podcast your official permission slip to unapologetically do life your way and be able to change your mind a million times along the way and know that you are not alone.
Our goal with this podcast is to create a fun, zero judgment, happy hour style space where we can all just hang out, have real conversations, and navigate all the life things together.
So grab a drink, settle in, and let the obsession begin.
Woo!
Welcome back to the Obsessed With podcast. We're your hosts, Kim and Erran, and in this week's show, we have had a lot going on, and we're just going to kind of riff on like a life update.
Yeah, it's kind of a different. I had a topic planned, but we just thought we'd do something just a little bit different and kind of do an update, kind of talk about all the things that are going on. And kind of keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
And
let's do it.
Let's go.
Flight crew, please prepare for departure.
Okay, so it is currently Saturday, February 22nd. I am on call for my last weekend at Advent Parker for this contract. And we leave for Florida on 3/3. And I got one more week to go on my contract.
Yeah, which is insane. So, okay, I'm like, where do we begin? So we're recording this Saturday, like you said. This comes out Thursday. So when this comes out, I will be in Santa Ana. No,
I'm in Irvine. Wait.
Irvine. I'm flying into Santa Ana. Let's take it back for a minute. So we've talked about this before on the podcast. I think maybe it was on, maybe we have, maybe we haven't, but I've been dabbling with possibly going to work a strike.
We talked about it on the Trav's Test podcast,
Okay.
I think.
And so Erran worked the California strike. So all of University of California hospitals are striking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when we first got to Denver, so this was way back in November.
Literally pulled in on Friday. I got called on Saturday night that I was leaving Sunday.
Right. And we just got there. And you left the next day to go work this strike. And at that time I was put in for it too. But for whatever the reason, I didn't get chosen or whatever. I didn't get my stuff in time, whatever the case was. I didn't get to go. But you went. Mm-hmm. And so all the California hospitals, University of California. So there's Sacramento, there's San Francisco, there's LA, apparently there's freaking Irvine, and San Diego. And there might be more, but that's all I can think of right now. And so all of those hospital systems are striking at the same time. So you went to San Diego and had yourself quite a time. Mm-hmm. And so the strike is only 3 days, basically. Like you do an orientation day and then you have 2 working days. It's a set
because
strike.
it's a scheduled strike. So basically from working the first one, the employees aren't getting what they want, obviously. And so they're like, yo, we're going on strike. So then what does that do? That forces the hospital to bring in a whole group of people to fill those 2 days and pay that money for them. And so they scheduled it. And then they're like, if we don't get what we want, we're going to schedule another one. And so we're on the second go around.
So now, right. Which sidebar, I don't because they're scheduling it and it gives them so much time to prepare, the hospital. Wouldn't it be more effective if everyone just walked out?
There's rules.
Can you do that?
No, there's rules with that. You have to give notice. It's like a whole thing. A judge can put a hold on the Chicago strike when I was there, because they were supposed to strike when we all were there, and a judge put an immediate because they were trying to be shady with it or something. I don't know. I can't remember, but I know a judge put a contempt order and literally held in place that they could not leave.
Interesting. Yeah, because you would think that would be more effective because the hospital, they're spending so much money to bring in all these people to work the strike. So yes, it's completely inconvenient. They have to cancel patients, all the things, but they're still prepared for it.
Right. But that's also again, it's not like union work. It is union work is what I'm saying. Cars and things like that. If the hospital personnel could just walk out, you know what that would do to the patients?
Oh yeah. No, right.
That's horrible.
That would be horrible.
But
I'm saying the hospital, if they could do that, okay, don't you think if they could just walk out and be like, F it all, and leave the hospital scrambling, don't you think then the hospital would be like, you know what, just give them what they want? But then that would probably create more.
Right. Because again, people want more money. When they're in the union, they're going to negotiate again in another 2 years. And people naturally are going to be like, we want more money, right? So then when does it stop? So it's always a business versus it's a weird game, right? And so you got to protect the patients in the hospital.
Right.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. No, right.
Can you imagine if your family member was in there and the hospital just walked out?
Yeah.
And I would be like mortified. And I'm a hospital employee. I understand our employees are mistreated and need to be paid and like better schedules and more employees and things like that. Like I support that 100%. But it's like patients also have to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's crazy.
No. And, people, so just saying this quickly, we did a whole episode on, we talked about strike. It's on our Tribe Says podcast. But, people have a lot of opinions about strikes, whether to work them, whether to not. And again, I feel like everyone's entitled to their own opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever's right for you, right? And you can make the decision that feels the best for you, whether you choose to participate in working a strike or not. People have like a negative connotation about it, but I feel completely different. Like I get like what you just said, like supporting the people who are striking, right? And what are they striking for? What are they wanting? And healthcare workers are so overworked, so understaffed, especially in today's world, right? Like that's why there's so many travel jobs because everywhere is short staffed. You can't keep people. But also, like you said, patient care doesn't stop. It just doesn't, right? Like we don't work at, in a what are they called? Oh my gosh, like a machine place, a plant. Mm-hmm. What are they called? The old school, whatever.
Yeah, like a auto factory. Hey, real quick, we hope you're loving today's episode and we wanted to take a moment to keep you in the loop. If you work in healthcare or you're a healthcare traveler, or if you know someone who works in healthcare and is interested in becoming a traveler, we've created this incredible membership we think you are going to be so excited about. It's called the Travsys membership app, and it's basically all the best travel resources, insider tips, and built-in travel community right in your pocket, helping you navigate all the ups and downs in this crazy travel healthcare life.
Within the membership, you get monthly Zoom calls and live Q&As with us, as well as access to us via audio message if you need quick advice or support. Plus, you'll also get exclusive discounts to all of our courses and future courses to come, as well as discounts and VIP access to our incredible Travsys adventure trips in places like Peru, Bali, and New Zealand. We have packed so much value and fun into this membership, so monthly you'll also get a new travel guide featuring a fresh city or destination and useful travel resources like PDFs, checklists, and bonus trainings to help you navigate life on the road.
And our favorite part, because truly, we are on a mission to create the most badass travel community both online and in real life. With Travsys, you're not just joining an app, you're joining a family of like-minded travelers who love adventure just as much as you do.
So no more scrolling through endless Facebook groups. This is a safe, private space off of social media, so no trolls.
Thank God.
Where you can connect, swap tips, share stories, and even meet your people in real life at our epic events and trips.
So if you are ready to find your people, travel more, and have all the best resources right at your fingertips, join the Travsys membership app today at imtravsess.com. That's IMTRAVSESSED.com. Or DM us app, that's APP, on Instagram at Kim and Erran G, and we will send you the details. That's at Kim and Erran G, KIMANDERRANG. We have also linked our Instagram and website in the show notes below for you.
We cannot wait to see you inside of the membership and welcome you as one of our new epic members. All right, now let's dive back into the show. A factory, that's the word I was looking for, factory, where they just get backed up, they're not making product, whatever. We work in a hospital, so there are always sick patients. Mm-hmm. And that does not stop. You have to have people there to take care of the patients. Like you said, like if it was my family, my dad in the hospital, and there was nobody there to take care of him if he needed help, like no, nurses or, couldn't get a procedure or whatever he needed, like that's insane. So there's always going to have to be people to be there to fill in the spot. And I hope that they can come to a resolution that serves both parties well and everybody gets what they feel like is fair for them and everyone gets back to work.
Well,
but in the meantime, people have to be there to work, and I'm all for it. If it feels right for you, it's an opportunity to make really good money and to go and to support the patients that are there that still need freaking care.
right. And again, people say that like, oh, like they're paying you and they could have just paid the money. And I completely agree. But it's also, that's money that the hospital never planned on paying. So it hurts them extremely bad, right? And yes, they have a bunch of money and they probably set aside this whole thing, whatever it is. But that's money that nobody wants to pay out because it's a lot of money. And they could have just settled it. But there's also like a business side to it too, that you can't just settle every time somebody says we're striking, because if that was the case, then there's no consequences. They would just strike every time and be making $450 an hour. Like it just, there's a game here. And unfortunately, people are caught in the mix of the game, but I've never seen anywhere, number one, that I'm coming in to steal your job. No. Number two, the strike is scheduled. They're going back to work on Friday. Like, so they're coming back and the hospital just paid out 2 strikes. That's a lot of freaking money. And they said they'll keep doing it until they get what they want. So like the hospital can choose, right? Like, but patient care doesn't stop.
The complexities that go into this. I can't even wrap my mind around it. I know there's so many layers. It's weird to be like, they're striking, but they'll all be back on Friday. It's like, I don't get the union stuff. I've never worked in a union, but that they can't just be like, we're firing all of you, right? Their jobs are protected. I 100% agree. I don't agree because I don't understand it enough, but I would think that again, the hospital, it would be so much easier for them to come to some kind of agreement with their employees to keep them happy than paying out the millions and millions and millions of dollars, I'm assuming, right? Because it's like 20,000 plus people. It's all not EMS. What is it? Environmental science, radiology, all allied.
Transportation, food, all of it. So
it would make more sense, but then clearly it doesn't, because they would just do that, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's so complex, right? I'm not even going to begin to pretend that I understand the inner workings, nor do I would even put thought into that. But I know that I'm now going to work a strike to cover for these couple of days while
they sort out their stuff.
Yeah. So, and again, just to reiterate, everybody is entitled to make their own decision. And it drives me freaking crazy when people comment on other stuff to say like negative things about like, you shouldn't do that, whatever it is. It's like, just make your own freaking decision. If you don't support working a strike, don't work a strike. If you don't support X, Y, and Z that someone's posting about, just keep scrolling and like, don't do it yourself. Like people's like opinions and stuff all the time. It just really annoys me.
Well, like for instance, just to switch the subject up, like it's along the lines of what you're talking about. Like the girls at the hospital, I should have showed it to you today, but like the girls at the hospital put a label maker on the back of the wall of the bathroom that we all use in our changing area. And it says, put the seat down, because like the seat's up a lot. And I guess like 2 people fell in and whatever.
Oh my God.
And one of the guys was just like, that's crazy. Like, I won't put the seat down. So why is it that I have to lift the seat up, but then make 2 motions to lift it up and then lift it back down? If you're stupid enough to not look at it and fall in the toilet, I don't have to sit down. If I did have to sit down and the toilet seat was up, I would gladly put it back down. That's what I need to do. So therefore, like in a co-ed bathroom, this is just how it works. So I'm making 2 motions to do things rather than one. So he was like dead set on this. I'm laughing because I'm like, I don't really care. I'll put the seat down. Doesn't bother me.
It's not that serious,
it's
bro.
not that big of a deal.
Down.
But you're saying about people's opinions and how strong they are. And he's very much entitled to say that, like, I think that's crazy. And my solution was we just need to buy Japanese toilets because then they upper and lower themselves all by a push of a button.
And warm your bottom.
And warm your bottom.
And clean your bottom.
And clean and spray. And then that way nobody's touching anything. It's mechanical, right? So like it is what it is.
Problem solved.
Right. But like.
Yeah. But right. That's his opinion. Even though I think like that's ridiculous. And it is. Where did that come from? That it's common courtesy that guys put seats down for women because they have to put it up. Like, I don't know where that came from, but it is a nice gesture. And guys also have to sit on the toilet to go number 2, right? So, but the fact that his opinion is so strong that he felt like he had to say something instead of just being like, oh, whatever, like, I don't care, you know? But that is so loud now. Everyone's got an opinion about everything. And for me, I see things all the time that I don't necessarily agree with, or I'm kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of cringe. But I just keep it moving. Like, who cares?
Right.
Anyways.
Right. Go.
It's just annoying. Everyone just do you, boo.
Yeah.
If everybody could just feel like they could be themselves, make their own decisions, and do what feels right for them and allow other people to do what feels right for them God, wouldn't the world just be like such a more peaceful, flowy place?
It would. Anyway. But also, Kim and I will get off our moral high ground right now.
Why?
But no, I was just saying.
Is that a moral high ground, or is that just saying like...
It's still an opinion. Because then it's like, I want to express my opinion. And I wouldn't silence myself when I see something wrong, right? So that's an opinion.
I mean, yeah.
Even our opinion of like, hey, keep it moving. Like, we're good. Or don't, you know what I'm saying? That's this weirdness that we live in currently.
Okay.
So it's like, it is what it is. What I was going to say was, backing this all up, right? So I personally, and I don't know about you, but I started to feel the panic February 1st. When I looked at my schedule and realized that I was on call the first weekend of February, and then I was off and we were going to Seattle, and then I was on again the next weekend, and then the strike went live.
So I wanted to go backwards a little bit to the strike.
To the strike?
Yeah.
I'm talking even at the beginning. Okay. Go ahead.
Because I was supposed to go do this strike over January. 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago. And it kept getting pushed back because of the fires. And honestly, I didn't think that they were going to do it for a while, right? With all the stuff that's going on in LA, but so it kept getting pushed back. And I kind of just wrote it off, because what happens with a strike too is that they can have tentative dates, like, oh, maybe you'll be here. But when the hospital lets the companies know, they give them a 10-day advance, which means that it's happening, and they give them this 10-day notice. And so once you get the 10-day notice, you know it's going, and they have the date set. And so the 10-day notice, like my recruiter kept checking in, like, hey, we still haven't gotten the 10-day notice. We're still not sure, blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of just wrote it off, because we're leaving. We fly out of Denver on March 3rd. So there's a cutoff, right? And for me to be able to go. So I kind of just wrote it off. Like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think whatever, I'm not going to be able to go. And so I just kind of wrote it off. And then so they started to send some stuff over, but they still hadn't gotten the 10-day notice. So I'm like, whatever. This has kind of been this back and forth for a couple of months now. And then they got something. Then I got a text saying that they officially got the 10-day notice. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Because it literally could not be the worst timing. The worst timing. But I was still kind of like, okay, but things happen, right? Strikes are unpredictable and chaotic, and who knows, anything can happen. Until you actually get your departure information, you don't know if you're going or not. And so anyways, this morning, Saturday morning, time we're recording this, we were supposed to go to the gym. And I'm like, we have to leave by 9:05. And I'm out here just having my coffee, kind of about to go get changed, whatever. And then you come out of the room and you're like, I just got called in. And I'm like, dang it. Also kind of happy, because I really didn't want to go to the gym. But I knew I would have felt better had we gone. But I was like, well, there's that feeling of nothing I can do, right? It's not like we're just calling off, like we can't go because you got called in. And so I was like, okay, secretly happy. You go to work, I literally got a text, I don't know, 45 minutes later saying, here's your departure information. You're being deployed. Like what a word, right? Because that's all like military, like you're being deployed. I was like, you're being deployed for the California strike. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, like it's go time. Like, and then they tell you where you're going.
Well, on top of that, she's being deployed tomorrow morning.
Right. And so I was like, okay, I'm being deployed tomorrow morning. I'm being deployed. Oh my God. So I'm getting so nervous. And then they send you your flight details and I'm looking and I'm like, I see the date and I'm like, okay, when's that? And I look and I'm like, holy shit, that's tomorrow.
Morning.
Tomorrow morning.
We have to leave at 7 a.m.
I'm like, that's
literally 12 hours from now.
Batshit crazy. Like, holy shit. I thought I would at least have till Monday, to
what did I tell you?
Prepare. You kept
I told you.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about was it last night we were talking about it? And I got all like sassy because you're like, I have a feeling you're going to have to go Sunday. And I was like, I'm not going on Sunday. Yeah. That's not happening because they're only paying they pay you 36 hours guaranteed, even if you work 3 hours. Like you're getting.
They pay you well for 36 hours.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm saying story on top of story, but like, even though it's the worst timing, that's why I'm going. Otherwise, I'd be like, life is so crazy right now. Like, there's just no way that I can leave for an entire week and then go. But like, the money is worth it,
Well, the money and getting your skills and going back to the hospital.
Okay, I wanted to circle back to that, but let me finish this last thought of what was I saying?
Deployed on Sunday.
I was like, I'm not going because I'm only getting paid for 36 hours, and I thought that orientation was Tuesday. And then you worked Wednesday, Thursday, and then we fly home Friday. So I'm like, why am I going to go sit in Irvine, wherever the heck Irvine is?
You've been there multiple times.
Never been to Irvine.
You've been there.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Irvine's in Orange County. We did not go see Gabby Bernstein in Irvine. We went in LA in a Studio City or something it was called. Not Irvine. We've never been to Irvine. Fun fact. That was where we were going to take our first ever travel contract.
Except I didn't have the Florida license.
Yeah. And we were like, oh my God, we get to go to California. Like, we were so freaking excited.
I was pumped, dude. That's like right next to Knox Berry Farm. Six Flags, baby.
I mean, okay.
I used to go there as a 2 and 3-year-old.
I have never been to Irvine.
Well, it's a nice place.
Technically, apparently you love it.
I mean, yeah, it's not bad.
From your memories of when you were 2.
Wouldn't want to live there, but I'm just saying it's a nice place to go. And like, if you're going to go for a strike or a hospital, there's things to do, cafes near Newport, Laguna Beach. Like, nice.
I don't have a car. I'm not going to Newport or Laguna Beach. Like, I don't even have a car.
I understand that.
Right? So I'm staying at a hotel near the airport. A little bit of a different vibe.
Gotcha.
Right? I'm not going to what Six Flags, whatever you call it.
Knox Berry
Farms, yeah.
Strawberry Farms. Knox Berry Farm. So
I was like, I'm not going Sunday. That's the dumbest thing. So I'm not going to go sit in Irvine Sunday and Monday. I'm not getting paid. And I have so much to do, right? So much to do to like leave my life here in Colorado and go sit in Irvine for 2 days. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, I'm not doing it. And I got all like sassy. And then you were in the bathroom. You went into the bathroom and you said under your breath, and I heard you. You said, you'll do whatever you do. I was like, wow, that was aggressive. You like mumbled it, but I heard you.
Well, I'm just like, this is the same flow. Especially with the fact that the strike is on the same days of the week. Mm-hmm. So I already told you how this works. It's not like, I went to the same strike. It's not a different strike, so they're going to follow the same flow. And they also have thousands of people that they have to filter in through an orientation. So they schedule it where it's like allied respiratory, and like EVS goes on Monday, and then they have others go on Tuesday, but they also have to have the late arrivals and different things like that. And then you need the buffer to where they can make sure that you're orientated and that you have all your stuff. It goes into the system, and then they can give you where you're going. So that's what Tuesday is, which is why you don't go to work, and then you start on Wednesday.
Well, I called.
No, of course. Of course you did. Of course
you know, I
did.
love a good phone call. Actually, I hate a phone call moment, but
You love a good information moment.
I love information.
Whether you get it on a phone call, email, a Skywriter, like whatever it is.
I like to be informed. I like the details. I like to understand.
You have to
things.
know now.
Yeah, in this very second. I know.
You're not a wait and see.
No, because I'm an over preparer. Like I feel more confident being prepared, you know? And so I called and left a voicemail and an email and a text. And then I got a call back from this sweet woman, Brenda, like an absolute pleasure. And she was like, you know, I just logged in. We have like, you know, today we're deploying everybody. So we've got like thousands of people. So sorry it took me long to get back to him. Like it's been 20 minutes. Like what? Like she was so nice. And so I was like, hey, Brenda, listen, like, I'd like to change my flight because I'd like to fly in Monday if I can. Oh, that was the other thing. So when they sent out the strike people, like the workforce disruption people send you out a survey and you tell them what day you are available to leave. And there was options. It was the 23rd to the 28th or the 24th to the 28th. And I chose the 24th to the 28th. So I would have this weekend to do what I needed to do. So I told sweet Brenda, I said, listen, I said I was available on the 24th. The work doesn't even start till Tuesday. So can I just change my flight from Sunday to Monday so that I have time to do the things I need to do? And I don't want to just go sit in a hotel room and not get paid for it. Sorry. And she was like, well, let me look into it, sweetie, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow. And I was like nervous too, you know? She was so sweet. And she was like, well, Monday is actually going to be your orientation. Orientation's Mondays and Tuesdays, depending on, you know, what you're doing, whatever. So it looks like you'll be doing orientation Monday. You'll be off Tuesday, but work Wednesday, Thursday, come home Friday. So I was like, okay, Brenda, that really helps. Like, cause that makes sense. Right. So that, like, I like to have the information because then it makes sense.
But it also doesn't let you know what I told you.
No, I know, but
it doesn't matter what I say. You have to hear from Brenda.
It's right. But my experience could have been different from yours because they might have done it differently with the dates because they asked me specifically if I could fly out on the 23rd or the 24th. And I specifically said the 24th. So I was like, well, maybe it's different days, whatever. It wasn't that I didn't trust you, but like I'm also of the camp, if there's anything that can be done, like if she said, yeah, we can move you.
Yeah.
I that's what I wanted. So I would have all day tomorrow to do the things I need to do so I could go do the strike and not feel stressed out.
Yeah, I get that.
So for me, I'm like, I'll do it. I'll take all the steps possible. And if the answer is no, the answer is no.
And the answer was no.
So sweet Brenda said no. So here I am leaving Sunday tomorrow to fly to Santa Ana, which is a new airport because I've never been there.
Well, it's like a Durango.
Yeah.
It's a Whittle guy.
How do you know?
I looked it up.
Oh, okay. And so I land there at 11 and then I guess like a bunch of people are coming in and then there's like a little, my guy is, because when you flew into San Diego, you're like, I'm looking for like Uncle Tom or something.
Not Uncle Tom.
What was his name?
Uncle Diego.
Yours is okay. So they have like, let me pull up the email, like fake names, I guess, which now makes sense because if it was like, hey, we're here to pick up all the strike workers, that might cause like a riot.
A huge big deal.
Okay, because I didn't understand. I thought they were trying to be cute.
Is it Aunt Anna?
Hold on. I thought they were trying to be cute by being like, oh, like look for Uncle Diego or whatever. But
Uncle Irvine?
Oh, where is it? Hold on.
I want to know because I bet you it's...
Look for Uncle Irv.
Uncle Irv.
Oh, because you were Diego.
Yeah,
San Diego.
Uncle Irv.
Uncle Irv. I know. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so I got to look for Uncle Irv.
Yep.
And then he's going to take me to the hotel and all the things.
Which I just want to let you know. I thought Uncle Irv was there on schedule. Uncle Irv is there for a general time because they apparently book a lot of people to come in at different times. So you might be sitting in that airport for an hour waiting on other flights to come in.
I need to pack snacks.
Mm-hmm.
I need to pack my peanut butter.
Because Uncle Diego at that portion of the airport had nowhere to go to get any snacks. And I was starving.
Oh, see, no, I can't play that
And
game.
so I went all the way to the
Uncle
airport.
Diego didn't bring like a little picnic basket of snacks?
No.
Rude.
Uncle Diego stood outside with a sign and twirled around.
Twirled it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sent me a video.
Yeah.
He was doing like the dancing.
It was interesting.
So okay.
Can we get to how this affects us?
Okay, but I just want to say this last part about the strike itself, and then we can move on from it.
We've been talking a lot about the strike.
Well, because it's a big deal. Hello.
Yeah, we got other big deals.
Okay, but I'm nervous because I've never done a strike, and I'm nervous because I don't know what to expect, and it's crazy, right? And it's so fast. But I'm more nervous because I haven't even been in a hospital or scanned in 2 years. I scanned some when I was working PRN at Baptist Beaches, but
you scanned me today.
Okay, but I was getting to that. You just jumped the gun.
Sorry.
So I was feeling a lot more anxiety because everything feels so foreign to me, right? Because it's like I haven't done ultrasound. And I know I've been a sonographer for so long, like that, it like lives in you, right? It's like in your cells and your being, right? Your protocols, like your scanning, like everything. And so it's there, but it's like I just haven't activated it, I have to like bring it back forward into consciousness because I haven't been thinking or focusing on that. So that's causing a lot of nerves just because I'm not feeling comfortable or confident just in my scanning ability, on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, fuck. And it's like riding a bike. I know that, but it's been so long and it's already a high pressure, high stress situation. So Erran took me to his hospital today so that he could be my patient.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to scan him some. And I did your carotid, your abdomen complete,
mm-hmm.
and a leg, just the calf.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do the groin. I really wanted to do the testicles, but you were being a prude.
Okay.
We did get busted in by a cleaning lady, so I guess
Pharmacy?
Pharmacy. So I guess if your balls were out, that probably would have been awkward. Yeah. But I will say that gave me, it is like riding a bike. Like I'll probably be a little slower, like as I kind of get, my bearings back and stuff. I'm not going to be like a super stat tech, like flying through all the patients. But it was a Philips. I hadn't used that particular machine before, but it was so easy. It was like, okay, I got this. Like, I was going through my protocols. And again, it's funny how it just lives in you, like how you have those memories that just like live in you even
mm-hmm.
when you haven't really used them.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was doing the carotid, I'm like, okay, blah, 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 like going through my protocol, my hand is just naturally doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, okay, playing with the scale and putting on the Doppler, doing the angles, like just getting used to all those like functions again and how to roll and how to go through it. And like, okay, what is my protocol? Okay, left liver, right liver, all of that stuff. And so I did it. And I was like, oh yeah, like I got this. Like it's so easy. I wish I could have done a pelvic on you.
I don't have the parts for that. Yeah.
I could have done the other hole.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so I think that just made me feel a little bit more confident of just like, okay, I put my hand on a probe. I have no idea what machines they use, which is part of the learning curve. Oh, and then we went through Epic because they use Epic. So we went through Epic again. So because you have to do all of that, which, but you just showing me, I was like, oh yeah, I remember all this. Mm-hmm. Like it just comes right back. So I definitely feel a little better.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We'll see.
Well, at the time this comes out, it will be Thursday. I will already be there.
On your second day.
Oh
last
my God,
day.
My last day. Woo, woo, woo. Celebrating my last day. And I was going to say follow along on Instagram, but I'll already be done.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So yeah, we'll do a updated podcast post and kind of get a feel.
Well, I mean, it's just crazy because again, she's going on the strike. I'm on my last week, on the week that she's on a strike. We have our apartment here in Parker, which as of right now, we're coming back to Parker, where I will pick up on my contract in May or 1st of June when we return. So we're just going to put our couch and our bed, the little nuanced stuff that we have here, into storage. And then we fly out on the 3rd to go to Florida. We're only there for 6 days. And then we fly out to Indonesia and do our research for our Indonesia-Thailand trip. And then we run Travcess New Zealand, have a couple days in between, run Travcess Bali, and then we fly home. All of that is 12 weeks in total. And we are transitioning. We also have been revamping Travcess in a whole, recreating and updating our membership site, which we have our developers working on creating all of that, which we were supposed to go live last week, but due to the developing issues, that is still being worked on as we speak.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully this is Thursday.
Well, they've been Thursday. I forgot. As we speak here today on Saturday, they have been running through. I've been seeing like orders coming over to make sure all the things are flowing. We're releasing our new mini course, which we created. All of these things are happening and they have to be in flow before we jump into our trips and run home. And there's just so much on top of just me finishing my job, Kim going and transitioning and putting things in storage and flying out for 12 weeks.
Well, hold on, I'll circle back to that. But just as far as the membership goes, yeah, we were supposed to launch out last week, which is crazy. I hope that it's going to be launching by now. But we've completely revamped it. We've added new PDFs and like travel guides. So every month we're going to have a new mini travel guide. So this month is Healdsburg, California. And it's all of our like insider tips, where to stay, where to eat, all the wineries. Like every month will be a different city or a different place. There will be international and US. And so just different guides that you can have with you for if you want to go visit. And then also different, so there will be one new one every single month. And there will also be another sort of guide, PDF, resource, something extra that is travel related or just like life hack related. So right now, the one that we put in for March is all about how to start a side hustle. And it's like a full guide on how to do that. And just kind of written out all of our best tips, flows, all of that. So every single month, there will be new updated resources in there. And then every month, we're going to be going live, Zoom call, answering questions, just chatting about X, Y, and Z. And then, our trip discounts still, and course discounts. You mentioned the mini course that we created. So all of our members get discounts on all the things. So we've really revamped it. We really put thought into like, what do we want this to be? And because we launched it and then we kind of just let it go because life got so busy, and, our goal with it too is to have it really be community centric. And that comes back to us, right? Is like breathing that in, getting people used to coming in and being able to ask questions, get advice, connect with other travelers in a safe place that wasn't like a Facebook group or whatever. And so we really want to bring that into this as well. So we'll be working on really building that community aspect that's like this special safe place to go. So anyways, super, super excited about that. I think it's going to bring a lot of value and fun to people, travelers. So there's that. And then circling back to us leaving, now that I'm going to be gone, basically you're in charge of packing up our entire apartment. We don't have that much stuff, but we have enough stuff. Like, we always say that like, oh, we don't have that much stuff, blah, blah. But every time we get into it, we're like, okay, like let's start packing up. We're always like, how we have way more than we think, So now you're going to be flying solo, packing up everything. We have to rent a storage unit, get the U-Haul. And basically you'll be kind of figuring that out this week. And I come home Friday. We'll have Saturday to move like all of our stuff out. And then Sunday we'll head to a hotel at the airport.
Sunday we'll move our stuff out.
Right. Okay. Oh, right. So we have Saturday. Okay,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
have
We have
Saturday.
all day Saturday.
Okay, I keep forgetting that. So we'll move everything out Sunday and then stay in a hotel at the airport and fly out Monday.
Which is why I want to have this place pretty much bare bones to where on Saturday, we technically don't have anything to do, right? Except clean up all of the stuff that we want to work on, right? Because we'll still have our couch, we'll still have our bed, and the rest of it can go to storage.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically it's one small load in the U-Haul and off we go.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds easier than I think it is. We'll reevaluate when I get home, like what needs to be done. I just feel like, you go through seasons and chapters. And I feel like this is a chapter where I feel like we have a million things going on at once and like trying to be in my head and kind of like keep them all organized, and not only that, but just preparing for Bali and New Zealand. And there's a lot, making sure transportation set up, making sure like, okay, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Like there's so many little details in everything that we do that we want to make sure that everything is perfect and runs so smooth. So Bali and New Zealand, like fine tuning all the details for that. So like constantly going back and forth with our partners there, planning Kilimanjaro, which fuck, dude, I don't know. Like
not only that, we haven't even planned our research trip.
Oh, and we're reworking our whole research trip, which
we'll talk about.
We'll talk about on next Tuesday's episode. We are going to,
we already talked about it.
Well, so the plan is, let's see if this happens, but the plan is this Tuesday. So today's Thursday would have already happened. Our Obsessed with Travel Tuesday was supposed to be, we're going to do a Zoom call since I won't be here tomorrow. Because we were going to do it today, but we had so many things to do and now it's almost 7:00 and we're starving. So we're definitely not going to record it right tonight.
No.
So the plan was to do a Zoom call where we record a podcast tomorrow, me in California, you here, which could be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk about kind of why we're reworking this Indonesia trip and kind of how to plan a trip.
We've already talked about it.
I hope so.
We will.
I hope so.
We'll make it work.
So yeah, planning that trip. And what was the other trip that was going on? There was something else with the trip that we had to do.
Thailand?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, our research trip and Kilimanjaro, which is a huge undertaking. And I thought we would already be ready with it by now, and we're not. So we're just in and the membership and
the new podcast.
And we recorded that course too. Yeah, we're in a season of hustle right now.
Yeah.
Like it's a hustle season. And I know we'll move out of that too, which is also why I'm really excited because we have 2 weeks before we have to start Travis Bali or Travis New Zealand. And I'm really even though it's a research trip, right?
Working. Mm-hmm.
It's working. But it's like you and I get to go and just have that time together and just have that. Yeah, it feels like a vacation. Like I'm really looking forward to that time with just you know, to just go and be and explore somewhere new together and have a little bit of downtime.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But yeah, we're just in a crazy season right now. And what do they say when it rains?
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on. So I'm trying to take, like when I start to get in my head, because for me, when I write things down, it helps me like get it out of my head and dump it. And then it's like, I get clarity around what needs to be done. So even me, like I wrote you a list and I put it on the freezer. And so like you're super clear on what needs to be done. So then that makes me feel more relaxed. Mm-hmm. But every time I start panicking in my head of like, oh my God, there's zero time. Like I shouldn't go do the strike. What am I doing? Why am I leaving? Like there's so much to do. But then I come back to like, it's okay. One thing at a time. And I have a free day there, which again, like, what am I going to do? So
you say that,
but I want to find a cute cafe and get all the things done I need to get done for Travzest. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to feel so stressed out. And that is not how I want to feel. And we're going to Florida and I want to be able to like be there and enjoy time with our family. And that already feels like go there. I don't want to take that stuff with me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So anyhow, that's what's going on. That was just a total word vomit dump we took all over you. Thank you for listening. But you're not saying one word.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like.
Am I just over talking you? You're
No,
just
if
literally
you-
staring at me like a ghost in the dark.
I was thinking, like, okay, we've had this happen before, and I can tell you every time we're ending a contract, even when we were in West Virginia and I had the whole month of July off, I ended like July 3rd, and we weren't leaving until August. The minute we started to leave, all of a sudden, when it rains, it pours. There's so much to do, and blah, blah, blah. And we started like freaking out. And then you get on the other end of it, and you're like, we got it all done.
We always do.
And it didn't feel overly stressful. And so, like, I know that. So I guess I'm feeling a little bit more lax. And I'm like, yeah, when you play all this stuff out, now I will say, you and I are also coming on it from a different camp where we used to just be like, you know what, when we lead our trips, that's what we do. We're 100% in, and we need to figure out a way to kind of manage all of this. And so that is a new thought process, but I still think with the way we set this up, it is still very manageable.
I think if we weren't moving, I wouldn't feel this way at all because it would just be the move on top of everything is huge. Like if I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go do a strike, put a pause on everything. I'll come back. I'll pick it up. That would be like a no-brainer. Or it wouldn't be that stressful, right? It's the move. It's all the things we're leaving.
But
right?
what about the move?
Because it's just an added thing. It's like something that has to be done. And it's a lot of work to pack everything up and move it into storage and to rent a U-Haul and to move everything in and just to get everything ready on top of everything else. Like if we didn't have to do that, like even your time here would be spent differently, which you could be doing things to help me. And also you're coming from, I do think we're in different camps because you're so used to like, you go to work every day in the hospital, right? That's so normal. It's so natural to you. Even like when you went to the strike, you were like nervous because you're like, I don't really know what to expect, but this is like, you're normal, right?
But
like
I hadn't worked in 5 months.
I know, but I'm just saying like, yes, 5 months, you're a little bit rusty, but it's still such a normal part of like, you weren't as nervous as I am because of that, like because it hadn't been years. And so this is such a part of your normal flow. So like you go to work and my days are spent all day working on everything for our business, right? And I keep all of that afloat every single day. Like that's what I do,
Yep.
right? So I'm leaving that. I said to you earlier, I'm like, mama's got to go to work. And then I'm like, well, I work every day, but I almost feel like I'm going back to the real world, like
your bubble's bursting.
Yeah. Like I'm going back in, like it feels so out of my normal, so it feels, I think, bigger to me too, of just the kind of the energy that goes out. Like I know how I feel when I first start a contract and it's like those first couple of weeks, you're like, oh my God, I'm like so drained. I'm so tired because you're learning so much. And so that's kind of what I'm getting into. And I need to like remember all my protocols and refresh my freaking ultrasound brain. So I think for me, maybe I'm feeling like this is like so much versus you just sitting there rocking in your chair with like, Yeah,
because I know I have all week. You're not here.
Yeah, and you can just be alone.
I'm going to
and eat freaking donuts.
No, I can't do that anymore because I have a fatty liver.
We're not talking about that right now.
But I'm just saying. But I don't eat donuts anyway. It's not really my thing.
I'm sorry, trolleys.
Yeah, but I'm done with that too. Okay. So anyway, what I was saying was I just feel like with you not here, I can just kind of slowly chip away at taking things to storage.
Yeah.
In the Jeep. Just,
okay. Right.
So I feel like it's manageable.
I know, but I think you're just not understanding. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I just feel like you're not understanding how much bigger this feels to me.
Oh, I do.
And how much I'm getting out of my comfort zone, which is funny because that working in a hospital used to be my comfort. Like it was like not a big deal. Even walking into a new contract, you're like, cool. Like there's nerves, but you're like, this is my normal. This is so it feels big to me.
Well, let me
and I feel like you don't really.
let me clarify
get
that. If it's about me just understanding that this feels uncomfortable for you, then I'm all in. The way
and that's
that
adding to the pressure.
the way that the conversation has gone is, how are we going to pull this off? We have too much to do. I don't know if we can do this. It's not just I'm feeling overwhelmed. I think I'm overpressuring this. Like, what's up? You have put it in terms of like, we need to figure this out because we are drowning and I cannot keep my head above the water. And now that I'm leaving, it's all out of control. So then it becomes, okay, well, do I feel that stressed over the situation that we have, or do I feel like we can handle it, right? And I think that's the difference. If it was just about you stepping outside of your comfort zone and putting pressure, but the pressure has been delivered in a way that you and I might not be able to handle all the things we have going on.
No. Okay. So yes, that is what I'm saying.
Which one?
the one that's like, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up with everything because, again, I'm not going to be here this week to do all of the things that need to be done. But I think I'm feeling overly worked up because of the nerves and because of what I'm about to go do. I think it's elevating that feeling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. I think that's a good way to end it.
So I guess we're not going to pull a card.
No.
Can I just address something real quick?
Sure.
We're not going to pull a card tonight because we're hangry.
Yeah, I have a horrible headache.
Still?
Yes.
You took an Excedrin.
I need food.
Okay. This will be the last thing I say. I have to address the tinkle because...
Still?
Yeah, because I just want to talk freely about it.
Okay.
Because I'm literally sitting here like doing Kegels because I have to pee so bad. And I literally died. Like, because my sister was like, do you guys, are your podcasts live or do you edit them? And I was like, no, we record them. It's not live. We record them just, on whatever program. And then Erran edits, the intro and
totally. If a delivery man comes to the door, I edit that out.
But for the most part, I would say like we don't edit it. We try to just keep it like flowy and just natural and conversational. So there's not like edits happening. And so the whole like P-gate where I went tinkle and you never edited it out because I guess you forgot, or maybe because we didn't think it was a big deal. I don't remember.
Oh no. I just totally missed it because we batched and we did 4 episodes that day and I forgot which one and I took out a pee break from another episode.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, there was no more pee breaks.
Right.
And then I realized when somebody texted us and said, is this real? That I just totally missed it.
Well, it's funny. So I got like multiple messages, but the first one was our friend Joe and he was like, oh my God, I'm dying from this like pee incident.
And then he was like, is it real?
Yeah.
Or did you guys like...
Just like, was this intended? Because it doesn't feel like this was supposed to be part of it, right? But was it? We don't know. And then people are like, oh my God, like I'm literally dying. Like this is hilarious. I'm like, oh my gosh, grow up. Like I just went tinkle, not a big deal. Who cares? Move on, right? And then people kept saying things and I'm like, I was like, oh my, okay, I don't know now, but I couldn't listen to it because I couldn't listen to it alone. And I think as Joe said something about moaning and I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm starting to get nervous.
Moaning and you could hear every pee hit the bowl.
Yeah.
And it was powerful.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, I can't listen. Now I'm starting to get nervous. Then Erran, you listened at work. And then he came home and played it. And I died. Like I died. Like
she was screaming so loud that I thought the police were going to come.
It was bad. I was laying on the ground screaming and it wasn't the pee. It was the moaning. What was I doing? I was
the
like,
moaning and the fart before the pee.
There wasn't a fart.
The little... Yeah.
It was
No, it was.
I literally like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. It takes me a lot to get embarrassed, but I was embarrassed. I was like, because it was very, I don't know the word. It was just personal. It was a personal journey.
Yeah, that's definitely not something that you want to.
We put it all out there, but not like that.
No, there's some.
You don't want to hear me moaning on the toilet.
No, and the amount of urine that was coming out.
Well, because I had been holding, like right now, I had been holding it for so long that it was like explosive.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh my God. So anyway.
So it's been edited out. And the weird thing is like, if you go onto Apple and you push play on the group travel versus solo travel, that was the episode.
No, don't call it out.
Well, yeah, because it's no longer. But the weird thing is if I play that episode on my phone, it's still there. But it's changed on Spotify. It's changed on all the other ones. But Apple finally refreshed our RSS feed, and it changed. But then I still have it on my phone, so I don't understand.
Literally, our friend Emily messaged. This was like yesterday, or was it yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, and she was like, "We've listened to the P-Gate 100 times over and over. It's never not funny." Like I'm literally, and I'm like, "How are you still listening to that?"
Mm-hmm.
But she said they downloaded it, so maybe that's why.
I guess because when you download it, I guess it.
Ugh, God. Again, I wouldn't care if it was just pee hitting the toilet. That it's the moaning and the farting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, from an outside point of view, that is something that you don't necessarily ever hear from people.
Yeah.
So to hear it, I'm telling you, Jenna doesn't even know you. She's my boss. She was literally, and she's scared to death of anything on the floor of the hospital. And like, she was almost falling over onto her, like laughing so hard because of how intense you went after that pee.
I love that you were playing it for everybody you work with.
Again, my phone, I'm the DJ at work, and I realized that it was on the Bluetooth.
Okay.
And she was in the room and then asked, "What is that?" before I could switch it over.
Okay.
I wasn't like,
sure
hey.
That's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And the fact that I had a mic on, it just picks up everything.
Oh, yeah, those mics are good.
Yeah. It was very intimate. So, anywho, sorry. Not sorry. Sorry.
Well,
you heard that.
I guess it's more apology from me. That's my responsibility.
Yeah, you're the producer.
Totally. I just totally
You're
missed it.
fired.
I missed it.
Fired.
Okay. I missed 1 in 4 years. Let's be real.
That was a big one to miss.
That was a big one.
That was a big one to miss.
I mean, that's almost like totally like having like a complete meltdown on the mic, talking about like somebody or
going crazy,
going nuts, and then leaving it on there, or like one of our little scuffs we got.
Like if we got into a fight or something, and
which
we were
I think
like,
people would really enjoy.
What, hearing a fight?
People enjoy that stuff.
A fight?
Hearing how you argue. Yeah.
Maybe we should do that.
I'm not going to fake an argument.
No, not fake it.
I would leave one on if we had it.
I'd be down for that if people, yeah. I was listening to a podcast, so I got inspired to do our own on this, and it was a couple, and they were talking about the things that they argue most about in their marriage, and then they ended up getting into an argument talking on the podcast. But it was really interesting of what they were talking about. I was like, oh, that's actually, I like that. That's a good one to talk about just for relationships. Like, it's not always like, oh my God, everything's so amazing. Like, we're soulmates. But like talking about what do we fight most about in our marriage and see what comes up.
I'd be interested in that because I kind of have.
Maybe we'll get into a brawl.
I have some ideas, but I don't.
We got to put some thought into it. I can think of a few.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm like, I have like a freaking scroll. Can't wait.
Okay, bring it.
But I guess it's not about the other person. It's more so like, what are the things that you argue about the most, or like the points of contention in your marriage? Like, what are those main things? Because obviously it's going to be different for everybody depending on life, whatever. And also there's things that you and I used to argue about all the time. Like, I feel like we go through different seasons versus like what we would argue about today would be different than what we argued about when we first got together.
There's still some throughs.
Yeah. Well, we could do like a timeline.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get into a fight.
I think that's a good podcast. I
we
really
should have
enjoy
some
that.
tequila with it.
Ooh, fun.
And then we can like, and then we can like spank each other and like.
Well, you would enjoy that. That's not a fight.
Little spranky pie. Okay.
All right, we gotta go.
Anyways, on
We
that
have to
note,
go, please.
thank you for listening. Make sure to follow us at Kim and Erran G and on Instagram on our story. Leave us a review. Check out the membership if that's something that you feel like would tickle your fancy. We'd love to have you, and we will be back next week.
And you can check out the membership on our website at imtravsessed. That's imtravessessed.com.
You're gonna put the ad in, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right. Toodles doodles. Wish me luck. Well, I'm already there. But send all the peaceful, fun, easy vibes.
Yeah. Love.
Okay. I
Bye.
love you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope that you really, really enjoyed it.
And if you did love this episode, can you please do us a huge favor and just share this with one of your friends? Like, just somebody that you think will get value from this episode. It would mean so much to us.
Yeah, like do it now. Like while you're inspired, go now.
Like right
Do
this
it.
second.
Yeah,
Go,
do
go,
it.
go, go, go. Or just like share it on your Instagram story and tag us at Kim and Erran G so that we can see it and thank you personally for helping us share this message, share this episode, and blow this baby up.
Yeah, help spread the obsession.
Ooh.
You can do that.
Let's get obsessed.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful to be on this journey with you, and we will see you next week.
Bye.